I think I might be one of those pansexuals. You see, my wife is an ugly woman, but she sure can cook. I came home one day and she was feeling all sexy like. Yuck. She wanted to make love. She tells me she cooked it my favorite meal, chitlins and cornbread. But before I could take my first bite, she put a little blue pill in my mouth. Halfway through my meal, I felt some kind of sexy feeling coming from my pee-pee. She went to put on some lingerings. By the time she came back to the kitchen, I had finished my meal and I was licking the pan. I've never loved it, her cooking so much. She said, "Why don't you come to the bedroom?" I says, "Hell, I already came in the kitchen." Well, I'll be. I got a job at a woman's store that caters to wealthy women. It didn't pay very well, so I asked my boss if it was okay if I became celibate. You know, sell a bit of this. My daughter wanted to dress like a man's for Halloween. She thought it would be funny if she took it my wife's strap-on. So now I got nothing to do on fantasy night but to make this here video. Well, I'll be. I remembers one time I went to trick-or-treating and this man's telling me, "Aren't you too old to be trick-or-treating?" He slammed the door on me. I came back later dressed as a robber man, and I demanded all his candy. I tell him, "Aren't you too old to be pissing your pants?" Well, I'll be. They say they just caught the guy that murdered Tupac, but they still didn't catch the Negro that stole my 2 packs of cigarettes. I called the policeman and they asked if I knew who it was. I told them a guy was standing by my pick-em-up truck by the name of Puffy. I think they called him that because he was puffing on my cigarettes. They tried to find him, but he keeps changing his name. Well, I'll be. This here is Johnny One Ball Beadle, the greatest football player to come out of Springfield, Missouri. He was born with a really soft skull, so his mother made a protector for him to wear. All the kids would make fun of him because they said his head looked like the top of a pea-pea. So his mom called it a helmet. One day he was playing with Cleet Washington. He always wore those shoes with spikes that his mama made to kill roaches. He accidentally stepped on one of Johnny's nuts and he was called One Ball ever since. When he got older, his mother let him play on the football team. He was the best running back you ever did seen. The coach would tell him to protect that ball like it's the only ball you got. Well, he had practiced for that all his entire life. The one time he played defense, the coach told him, "When you see the other guy with the ball, you shove that helmet into them hard." On that night, there were no tight ends. Well, I'll be. I thinks my son's is gay. I hears him and Jimmy, the little neighbor boy, playing cops and robber man. I hears him shooting his gun saying, "Pew, pew." I tell him, "Your gun sounds like a girly gun with that pew, pew." He says, "No, Daddy, that's Jimmy telling me my ass stinks." Well, I'll be. Craig Bedell was a lonely man from Springfield, Missouri. He raised ostrich birds for the many Chinese restaurants in town. He wanted to find a bride to share his money. He put an ad in the newspaper that said, "Looking for a woman to ride my BBC." The response was overwhelming. He had women's lined up around the block. He then asked who wanted to ride his BBC. Then, to their amazement, he brought out Big Bad Charlie, his prized ostrich bird. They beat his ass. He was so upset that he vowed to make it up to them. So he got a list of their names. He called it Craigslist. And dating has never been the same. Well, I'll be. Hillbillies need subscribers too. If you're looking for a video where I sings, I can't carry a tune. If you're looking for a video where I dance, well, I's got no rhythm. But if you're looking for some funny stories that you can't hear anywhere else, I's even got enough videos for you to binge watch. Help a Negro out and subscribe to The Unmotivated with me, Rufus.